Even in a small subject such as a car, we can practice our watercolor timing. How wet, how dry, how damp the paper is, how loaded the brush is, and how much water and paint that we are using. That's why practices like these are so important to continue to progress as painters. There's a lot of horizontal lines on cars. The bottom of the car, the middle of the car, the windshield, the roof. All of those lines need to remain flat. No matter the angle of the car, we want those lines to remain flat. We have the back of the car here, or the side of the car. We want the wheels to come straight down. And notice how close together the wheels are. And this line coming up is the wheel well. And now we're to the bottom. This line slants this way, and then we have the side of the car, and then this comes straight down to here, and this curves slightly, and this tire needs to come straight down, and there's the back tire behind this one, and these tires are a little too long. Just clean up that area. Now we need to think about some of the details that are on the car. We'll want to put the side mirror. And we'll have a shadow coming out that way. It doesn't have to be perfect, but by carefully observing where one line starts, where one line ends, and comparing those to each other, you can draw a reasonably accurate car. I don't get into the models of cars and all those things like that, but does it look somewhat believable? Yeah, well, that's good enough for me. The first thing I do is take a kneaded eraser. I'm gonna lightly go over my drawing to lift up any excess graphite. Now I'm gonna dampen the paper, and this is just a little sketch. We're not doing a huge wash, so I won't worry about the back, but just gonna dampen a little bit of the front. I'm gonna take some raw sienna, a little bit of lavender, kind of a neutral warm gray color, and I'm going to put some of this in. This will kind of be for just a little light value of the road. Okay, we'll just throw that through here, generally taking away the white of the paper in that area. While it's damp, let's drop in some light values for the car, and for that let's use some light blue. Use a little bit of Cobalt, Cerulean Blue, and lay some of that here on the top of the car. And I can go through this. That's going to be darker. And I'll hit the roof with this same wash. And I'll take out a lot of the windshield with this. Now, this is something interesting I like to do when painting cars. I like to think about how the upward surfaces are going to reflect the blue of the sky. The other surfaces, the side and downward facing surfaces, can reflect some of the color down on the road. So I'm going to leave a little bit of that on the side of the car. I'll use just a little bit of raw sienna to throw in some warmth there. And a couple things I'm seeing here. One is there's some light on the headlight. Some of that I'm going to get with gouache at the very end, but I want to see if I can lift out a little bit, and I'll take a paper towel and just push it down and lift it off. Do the same thing over here. Just push it down and lift it off. And there's some glare on the bumper. Do the same thing. Just lift some of that off. And while it's wet, I like to drop in a few little soft darks. Just some soft, vague information on the inside of the car. I'll do the same on the side of the car. I'm going to get into some richer, darker blue. So I'm going to take some Cobalt Blue, some neutral tint, a little bit of cerulean, mix it up a bit. Things are still a little damp, but I'm going to go ahead and start dropping in some of the darks and more middle value and see how that looks while things are damp. That's what's fun about doing these types of sketches, is that you can just play with the timing a little bit and practice things like that. Things that you don't get to practice on a full, complete painting. We can practice those now because it's just a sketch. So we're going even darker in here. And we know that this part down here will be darker. If there's some light in the grill here that I need to preserve, I can come back and get it with some gouache later. And we'll move down into the lower bumper where things are a bit darker. It's helpful to have a paper towel in your hand. That way I can take out some of the moisture on my brush if I need to, so I don't create blooms or do things that you don't want to do. Okay, so at the bottom of the bumper, it's even darker. And the wheels will be darker too. Connect the bumper right into the wheels. And same thing on this side. And the shadow on the ground, I'm going to mix in some of this blue that I already have on my palette, and I'm going to connect the wheels right into that shape. Connect the bottom of the wheel there, and this back wheel will be in shadow. And now I can just drag this over. Just kind of let it come out like that. Now I need to add a little bit more on this side. It's a little bright. So I'll take some more of this bluish color that I have here, and I'll drop some of that in here. Now, I have this little bit of glare that I wanted to get on that front bumper. I'm going to take a damp brush and see what it looks like if I just soften the edge there. Just soften that edge, pushing down, lifting off a little bit. One thing we need are the side mirrors. So I'm going to get some thicker paint, more of this dark, and it doesn't quite look right unless you get those in. Blue in there. And I'll do the mirror over here. A little more dark in the windshield. A little darker here. Bring that line straight over. Soften that a little. All right, I need a little dark mark on the grille of the car. Getting some thicker paint using more neutral tint. I'm going to take some raw sienna. And the last thing I want to do is take a touch of gouache. This is some ivory white Holbein gouache, and I'm going to just put a little dot for the brightest part of the headlight. These practices really are great for working through timing and just to keep things going, to keep building up that muscle memory and working on things that are so important in watercolor. If you'd like to know more about my process and the way that I paint, take a look at this. Have you ever been really excited about a painting and you get all set up, you find that right reference that you're excited about, and then it's time to go and you feel lost? I have a free resource that I want to give to you today that can help with these problems. My 5 steps to plan a successful watercolor painting. I walk you through the crucial planning phase of your painting that will help you understand what you're going to paint first, second, and third. The planning is really so important, especially in watercolor. This medium is harder to correct. It's so immediate. So having that plan is very important. I send you a PDF that you can download. And the great thing about this is you can have it on your phone. You could print it out. You can download this right now before you start your next painting. All you have to do is follow this link here and download my 5-step guide to planning a successful watercolor painting.